President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria has praised the central bank for creating Africa's first central bank digital currency, eNaira, the very first in Africa, saying the country will reap many benefits from the initiative. At the launch of the currency yesterday, the president said his approval was strengthened by the fact that the CBN has been a leading innovator in the form of money they produce and in the payment services they deploy for efficient transactions.
It is on this basis that I am delighted to officially launch the Central Bank of Nigeria digital currency called the eNaira. And in so doing, we have become the first country in Africa and one of the first in the world to introduce a digital currency to her citizens.
The very first in the world. Now, also, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, says 33 Nigerian banks have joined the eNaira platform, and the Apex Bank has minted 500 million naira worth of digital currency, while 200 million naira has been issued to financial institutions, and over 2,000 customers have been onboarded, and 120 merchants have successfully registered on the eNaira platform.
Well, I can say that it's one thing that a lot of Nigerians have been looking forward to. Well, don't forget that this eNaira was supposed to be launched on the 1st of October. Right. But a little sketches here and there, and then it's moved, and it was eventually launched yesterday, which happens to be October 25. Right. And here we are. We can see how the success rate in the space of how many hours. 2,000 customers have been onboarded. 120 merchants have actually successfully registered on the eNaira platform. So that's exactly what we've seen, and it promises to be beneficial to Nigerians, if we want to put it that way.
Now, Joe, I mean, for the benefit of our viewers, let's listen to what the president also said during the unveiling that happened just yesterday.
The adoption of central bank digital currencies and its underlying technology called blockchain can increase Nigeria's GDP by 29 billion United States dollars over the next 10 years. The use of central bank digital currencies can help move away more people and businesses from the informal into the formal sector, thereby creating the tax base of the country.
There we can see the president himself, President Muhammadu Buhari. It
is a good one. This is a first of its kind, not just in Africa, but around the world. Now, also one of the fun facts about the eNaira is you do not need to have a bank account. In fact, it will not be linked to your bank account. Now, there are certain transaction levels where for a minimum amount that is being transferred, you may not require your BVN or your NIN. If you're doing transactions that are 50,000 naira and below, you do not need to have a bank account for that kind of transaction, and you do not need your BVN for that kind of transactions. But for transactions that are higher than that, up to the tune of 1 million naira, at some point your BVN is needed, and at another point your NIN is also required. But Joe, a lot of people have come out to talk about the safety, the credibility of this platform. If it is not linked to your bank account, how can one monitor fraudulent activities? How can you tell where a fraudulent activity is starting from and where it's ending? And
don't forget too that we are still struggling with the fact that we have not been able to create a proper security or secured system that will help us ensure that our ATM cards, our PINs, our numbers, name them, BVNs, even BVNs are not going to be used easily by fraudsters when it comes to carrying out fraudulent activities. But digital currency is, it's quite interesting for me.
Well, they've come out to say...
Have you been on board?
I haven't been on board, but I plan to. I mean, they have come out to say that this is not cryptocurrency. This is totally different from cryptocurrency. This will not make your money, make the value of Naira increase as it were for cryptocurrency. You know how cryptocurrency works, where you invest today and in some month or some week time, your dividend increases. But this is not the case. Now, this is going to be equivalent to the physical Naira that you have. So it's not a way to scare people or make people feel disadvantaged if you're using the eNaira or the e-wallet, as it were.
That's right. All right, you can get more information on this later on. But in the meantime, let's break more boundaries right now as we take our time to look at the eNaira. We have Tunji Andrews, who's joining us. He is no doubt one person who will be able to tell us some more from the business aspect. Good morning to you, Tunji. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Now, Tunji, I mean, can we actually say congratulations and welcome to a new way of doing business? This is first of its kind in Africa and in the whole world.
It is the first of its kind in Africa, but the e-yuan precedes it. At least the Chinese government and the Chinese central bank have been able to institute it longer than we have. So the precedent is there. If we should say congratulations, it depends on what you're looking at. It's a big step in many ways, but in practicality, there's really no much difference if you've ever transferred money from one bank to another. It is still Naira. It is still moving via the same principles as our NIBS transfers. So I'm still really unclear as the real advantage it has to Nigerians outside what's the word now? Free transactions, but I'm still not seeing the full picture of how it is supposed to, do any of the magical things that a lot of the newspapers have been talking about it doing.
All right, Tunji, for the benefit of our viewers, we've listened to what the president had to say during the unveiling yesterday. Do you agree with what the president said concerning the fact that the eNaira will definitely replace cryptocurrency, especially here in Nigeria?
Okay, so lots of respect for the president, but I think he's been misled because the general factor, one of the most appealing factors of cryptocurrency is that it is decentralized finance, meaning that it is not controlled by one single entity. It is not controlled by a central bank. It is not controlled by a government. It's not controlled by any institution, so to say. The eNaira cannot be further away from that because the eNaira was even unveiled by the central bank in collaboration with the president, meaning it is decentralized. It is decentralized finance. It is centralized finance. So he may see it from the perspective of, hey, this thing, they use it over the internet. They probably use their phone via an app to be able to do it. But honestly, it's very different. There's nothing that is similarly close. There's no comparison in any way to cryptocurrencies. There's absolutely no comparison. The eNaira is the Naira. The eNaira follows the principles of the Naira. If the Naira depreciates, the eNaira will depreciate. If the Naira appreciates, the eNaira will appreciate. It is completely different from the principles that guide cryptocurrencies. But I think he also possibly has an aversion, is probably averse to cryptocurrencies and possibly sees this because, of course, like I said earlier, you use your phone, you use it over the internet, so maybe it will replace crypto. But I think maybe he's been misinformed about the differences and the similarities of both entities.
All right. Thank you so much, Tunji Andrews, the founder of Awabah and business analyst. Thank you so much for throwing more light on this topic, eNaira. We look forward to it, and I hope you have come on board, Tunji.
Tunji, have you come on board yet?
Yes, I have the app. It's decent. It's decent.
Fantastic. Thank you once again.
Good to hear that from you. We look forward to have you again soon, Tunji, so we could further break down more facts on the eNaira.
Thank you.